Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. This is the English translation of the Majlis of Hazrat Maulana Qamar Uzzaman Saheb Damat Barakatuhum, which took place on Friday morning at Baytul Azkar, the residence of Hazrat Wala Damat Barakatuhum, Friday, the 6th of Rabi'ul Awwal 1445, corresponding with the English date 22nd of September 2023. Hazrat Wala has the Risala in front of him, Asharu Qawaid fi Tazkiyatin Nufus, 10 principles in the purification of the nafs. So here, under this particular principle or rule of Tazkiyah of nafs, Qaida As-Sadisa, the 6th principle, which is locking entrances which remove man from purification and cast him into evil. Locking those entrances which removes a person from tazkiyah and casts him into evil. So a person is in dire need to shut the windows which sully and trample his nafs. The Sunnah presents a parable to us which explains how dangerous it is for a person to get occupied in anything which destroys his deen. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, the meaning of the Arabic text there, the hadith, Allah Ta'ala sets forth the example of a straight path which is walled on both sides. The walls have doors which are open and over which curtains have been suspended. There is a person at the entrance of the path who is announcing, "O people, all of you enter this path and do not wander about." Another person is announcing from above the path. When a person tries to open any of the doors, the announcer says, "Wayhak, woe, do not open it, for if you do, you will enter through it." The path refers to Islam. The two walls refer to the limits set by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The open doors refer to the prohibitions of Allah. The caller at the entrance of the path refers to Al-Quran, and the one above the path refers to the admonisher, the wa'iz, who is present in the heart of every Muslim. The wa'iz that is present in the heart of every Muslim. وَالدَّاعِي مِنْ فَوْقِ الصَّرَاطِ وَاعِزُ اللَّهِ فِي قَلْبِ كُلِّ مُسْلِمٍ. The one above the path refers to the admonisher who is present in the heart of every Muslim. Now Ibn Rajab Hanbali rahimahullah says that the person who is in this world has left steadfastness on the path, opened the doors of prohibitions which are in the walls on either side of the path, and entered them by either committing unlawful desires or doubtful actions. The spiky hooks which are on either side of the path have hooked him in relation to how many doors of prohibitions he opened and entered in the world. Now Hazrat Wala is saying that Ghad-e-Basar बहुत बड़ी चीज है. This lowering of the gaze is definitely a great wealth. तमाम सूफिया ने उस पर बहुत जोर दिया. All our pious predecessors have emphasized this year tremendously. Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Sahab spoke abundantly about this, and Hazrat Maulana Mohammad Hakim Akhtar Sahab, I don't know from where to where he spoke on this topic, meaning in much detail. So all our mashayikh in Bombay, when Hazrat made safar there, then he spoke abundantly and made bahas and had much discussions on this topic of Ghad-e-Basar, lowering of the gaze. So Allah Ta'ala says in this regard, قل للمؤمنين يغضوا من أبصارهم ويحفظوا فروجهم ذلك أزكى لهم إن الله خبير بما يصنعون. Say to the believers to lower their gazes and to safeguard their private parts. In this there is much purity for them. Surely Allah knows whatever they do. Now قال Abu Hayyan al-Andalusi, Abu Hayyan al-Andalusi said that قدم غض البصر على حفظ الفرج لأن الناظر بريد الزنا ورائد الفروج والبلوى فيه أشد وأكثر. So Abu Hayyan al-Andalusi says that lowering the gaze in this particular ayat is mentioned before safeguarding the private part, because the gaze is the precursor to adultery. It's that which leads and opens the way. It is the introduction to adultery. So that's why preference has been given to that particular concept before the other, because of the importance of it. That's why lowering of the gaze has been mentioned first. So the one who steers a person to immorality, this, and its tribulation is severer and excessive. Now Shaykh Sadi rahimahullah said, the person who safeguards his private part and gaze, the filth with which immoral people are sullied will be purified, and his actions will be cleansed by virtue of abstaining from the unlawful which the carnal self, the nafs, hankers after and invites him to. So whoever desists from something for Allah's sake, He, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, recompenses him with something better. Now, min husni islamil mar'i tarkuhu ma la ya'nih. This is why the beauty of a person's Islam lies in his discarding whatever does not concern him. Now, what it actually means? What does this actually mean? What does min husni islamil mar'i tarkuhu ma la ya'ni? It applies to futile speech, futile casting of gaze, and so on. The list goes on. It's just not confined to futile speech, rather futile casting of the gaze as well. Now, Ibn Qayyim rahimahullah said, futile speech and futile casting of the gaze are the propellants of the most evil actions. These two are the largest entrances for shaitan, because they neither get tired nor fed up. The eyes continue looking away, gazing away at that which is unlawful, and the tongue continues jabbing away. So a person should therefore remain sharp. A person should therefore remain sharp. लिहाजा बंदे के लिए मुनासिब है कि वो आकिल और चौकन्ना रहे. A person should therefore remain sharp and intelligent. He must ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for patience and salvation. Allahu Akbar. Just listen to that. He must ask Allah for patience. He must ask Allah for salvation and being saved from this. Now Hazrat Wala is saying here at this point that we should make this dua, that ए Allah, nafs और उसकी बुराइयाँ में हम फंस सकते हैं. We may get involved, we may get stuck in the web of the nafs and its evils. However, आप अपने फजल से उसे हमें नजात दे दीजिए. Out of your grace and your mercy, you give us salvation from this nafs and its evils. Now just look, that's exactly what the author is saying, that a person must ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for patience and for salvation from this. Now, what type of ta'aleem there is here for a person to turn totally and completely to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Apne belboote par nahi. No, you do not put your trust and your reliance on yourselves and on your things this way and that way. No. So, ask Allah for najat from bad nazri and fuzul kalami, casting of lustful gazes and futile speech and futile talks. Now, what is it? Listen to it again. He must ask Allah for patience and salvation. Thereafter, Hazrat Wala then goes on to say that Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Sahab, in the end, used to quote this so much, this dua and hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, in which we are asking Allah for this. Allahumma inni as'aluka at-tawfiqa li mahabbika min al-a'mal wa sidqa at-tawakkuli alayk wa husn az-zanni bik. That, oh Allah, we ask you for tawfiq, the hidayat, the inspiration to carry out those a'mal which are most beloved to you. Wa sidqa at-tawakkuli alayk, and genuine trust in you, wa husn az-zanni bik, and entertaining good thoughts of you. Oh Allah, we may be those individuals next to this nafs. Hum to sahib nafs hai, lekin aap khalik nafs hai. The reality and the fact of the matter is that you are the creator of this nafs. For you to save us, aapka bachana aasan hai. Hum to mubtala ही हो जाएंगे. For you to save us and give us salvation would be easy. Most definitely, we will get trapped, we will fall in these type of webs of the shaitan and the nafs. अपने जोर से कुछ नहीं कर सकते. With your might and with your power and putting your things together, you will not be able to achieve anything. अपने बेलबूते से नहीं पहुंच सकते हैं. What your own ideas and philosophy and what you're trying, you will not be able to reach, succeed and accomplish. Kaho, say that, oh Allah, we are the individuals of this nafs. However, you are the creator of this nafs. Therefore, you help us, you make madad, you give us salvation, you save us and protect us from futile talks and the casting of lustful gazes. So this islah of the nafs is something very, very important. So, oh Allah, for you it's easy, therefore help us. Now when we're asking Allah for this help, we're asking Allah for tawfiq, we're handing it over to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Abdiyat ki kaisi kuch ta'aleem. How much ta'aleem and encouragement there is towards abdiyat, and that of servitude, where the banda doesn't rely on himself at all, rather he leaves and hands over his entire matter to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Idhar dekha, udhar dekha, ise dekha, उसे देखा, न देखा यार को अगयार में देखा तो क्या देखा. You look this way, then you look that way, you looked at this one, and then you looked at that one. But in all of that, you did not see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala amongst all other things that you seen. Then what did you actually see? What did you actually find and look at? You looked at everything, but you forgot to look at Allah. You forgot to look and concentrate on this nafs of yours. And these days, what to say? So many people are overwhelmed by that of wasawis and this whisperings. It's quite simple. Hazrat Wala is saying that just don't pay attention to it. Tawajjuh nahi dena. And some Buzrugane-Deen said that when these wasawis come, then get happy. Because the idea and the plan and scheme of shaitan is always to see you unhappy and to break you. And he breaks you by putting this waswasa in you, due to which you become frustrated, upset, confused, you start going in circles, etc. So some of the Buzrugane-Deen say, Hazrat Wala said, don't give attention to it. Others say that become happy when those wasawis come. So when you do that, Shaitan will understand that you have understood his provocations and his whisperings, that it's coming from him and it didn't affect you in any way. You laughed it off and you let it go by. Now you know I'm not feeling well, but this particular article and this topic is so all comprehensive. So here we're saying that a person should therefore remain sharp and intelligent. He must ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for patience and salvation. He must sever every path which would contribute to the destruction and deprivation of his nafs. The deen of a person is his capital. Allahu Akbar. The deen of a person is his capital. Pas bande ka deen uske asal punji hai. The deen of a person is his capital. If it is lost, he will suffer loss in this world and in the year after. This is more so in our times where temptations are falling on people like raindrops. Arab Alim likh raha hai na? And Arab Alim is writing the temptations. This is more so in our times where temptations are falling on people like raindrops. The doors of doubts and desires have opened wide through these modern gadgets, dubious internet sites and deviated programs which have driven many people towards eternal destruction and diverted them away from guidance. Nas'alullah al-afiyah. We beg Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for soundness. Ameen. So a very comprehensive topic. So many got together and then made tarjuma, and then we made such an effort to make the tarjuma and understanding and easy for the reader so that he may digest it easily. Such a kitab like this here should be in the hands of every alim. Asharu qawaid fi taskiyatin nufus, the 10 principles in the purification and the tazkiyah of the nafs. So the entire life is spent in purifying this nafs and the soul. You know, right till the end. Fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What do I tell you about Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Saheb? Allah apne akabir ke tariqe par rakhe. Allah ta'ala keep us on the path of our akabirin. May bimar hu. I'm not well, but it is because of your barakat, you people, that I said something. Dua, Allahumma aati nafsi taqwaha wa zakkiha anta khayru man zakkaha anta waliyuha wa mawlaha. O Allah, bestow my nafs with its piety and purify it, for you are the best of those who can purify my nafs. Anta waliyuha wa mawlaha. You are the guardian of my nafs. You are the maker of my nafs. You are the owner of my nafs. Oh Allah, we are just the individuals next to this nafs. But the owner, the wali of this nafs is you, O Allah. Like how we have a haqq, you also have that haqq. Therefore, make madad and you help us in purifying this nafs of ours. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم بحرمة سيد النبي الكريم صلى الله عليه وسلم.